This video is a whistle-stop tour. You can stop it at any time to review anything that seems unfamiliar or that I have simply presented too fast. You can find a collection of statements such as this, supporting subjective well-being in HESA's Graduate Destinations and Outcomes Survey, linked in the text below the video, along with the bibliography and resources. Drop me an email if you have any questions or suggestions, or want to continue this conversation in any way. And please post a comment. This presentation explores a rationale for including subjective well-being in HESA's Graduate Destination Survey. It examines how subjective well-being enhances graduate employability, and how measuring subjective well-being reasserts universities' capacity for extending graduates' productivity beyond paid work into every aspect of graduates' individual and community graduate-level lives. Here's a business case for measuring graduates' subjective well-being. At Open Days, your university can offer a self-directed, graduate-level life that feels worthwhile and satisfying, happy and socially connected, where graduates experience more excitement and less anxiety, and earn a respectable salary, productively doing what they love in an authentic style with like-motivated colleagues. Satisfied, worthwhile, and social trust scores all tend to increase with education, so measuring subjective well-being will, at the very least, showcase universities' existing positive outcomes. Beyond that baseline, the 5 subjective well-being items developed by the Office of National Statistics stand out from other higher education outcomes as drivers of student and graduate productivity and as a direct measure of life quality, which is a central aim of public policy. So, how can subjective well-being deliver life-wide life quality, autonomy, productivity, and employability? Universities deliver subjective well-being and autonomy in the same familiar ways that they deliver graduate employability. The Law and Watts DOTS model is the most commonly used framework for the measurable learning outcomes assessed in universities' career education programs. The DOTS model has 4 components: decision-making, opportunity awareness, transition learning, and self-awareness. Ideally, students who want to develop their careers understand themselves, survey opportunities before making decisions, and learn transition skills such as networking and interview techniques. Burchard, Evans and Holder published a similar structure for examining, measuring and promoting autonomy. This extends the idea of occupation beyond paid employment to the opportunities a person chooses to occupy their time, energy and attention across their whole life. A student extends their autonomy by reflecting on their sense of self, such as their values, interests and personality, by reviewing a broad range of high-quality opportunities, and by making active decisions, which they subsequently implement. Universities that deliver and assess DOTS-based career education are already equipped to extend and measure students' and graduates' life-wide autonomy. The New Economics Foundation published a similar structure for examining and promoting life-wide well-being, which recognises how emotions influence performance and draws on the systems dynamics literature to represent interactions between components in a system. Good functioning leads to good feelings, which can be measured using the ONS subjective well-being items. Good feelings improve internal resources such as resilience and optimism. Feeling that an activity is satisfying and worthwhile, happy, exciting rather than anxiety-provoking, and socially useful improves functioning. Improved functioning enhances external resources such as academic course culture, friendships, and, at work, employers' business performance. And in turn, internal and external resources support good functioning. In the well-being and positive psychology literatures, flourishing is used to describe good feelings with good functioning. Academic functioning is measured through academic assessment. At university, a range of external resources, for example, students' peer-to-peer discourse about students' performance and about assessment criteria and feedback, influence national student survey scores. Subjective well-being can be used to promote students' autonomous performance development. Autonomy can be measured, for example, using the survey items developed by Burchard, Evans and Holder. The subjective well-being work seeks to extend the autonomy of every student in the student community. So, we will borrow the DOTS transition theme and substitute the idea of an individual's transition skills with the idea of transition support that a student experiences in their community, consistent with DC and Ryan's research into autonomy supporting and controlling cultures. This model can be implemented as a spreadsheet with a radar chart. Visualizing and quantifying their autonomy prompts students to explore factors driving and constraining each component as they extend their autonomy by reviewing and improving their university experience. The HESA Graduate Destination Survey already examines graduates' autonomy and control in the early stages of their careers. University staff who support students' career development already know how to develop students' life-wide autonomy and can harness students' hunger for self-direction, better social life, and activities that feel worthwhile, satisfying, happy, more exciting, and less anxious. They can introduce this work using subjective well-being data, such as this occupational choice reasoning data, collected from graduates alongside HESA's destination survey in a university pilot study. They can, in real time, collect corresponding weekend highlight occupational choice reasoning data from the students themselves, with which students can explore the implications of their emerging occupational choice habits for their subjective well-being now, as students, and as graduates, the implications of extrinsic motivation for their subjective well-being and work role, and the implications of extending their autonomy for their subjective well-being, graduate work role, and graduate income. For many students, an invitation to improve their performance towards their employability at the end of their degree programme, which may be nearly 3 years away, is less attractive than an offer to increase their happiness, satisfaction, meaning and purpose, and social connection, and to increase their excitement and reduce their anxiety in every aspect of their lived experience today. Subjective well-being delivers active engagement, which is a key component of autonomy. So how does it work in practice? Graduates are entitled to lives that feel worthwhile, satisfying, happy, socially connected, more exciting, and less anxious only when they have learned to disaggregate and select such experiences. Lovheim provides an objective model to engage students whose academic curriculum does not include a nuanced review of their emotional experience. Universities can use their familiar, tried and tested, autonomy-supporting, facilitative group work formats to engage students in improving every aspect of their university experience, for example, through their career education and learning development programs. Here's how subjective well-being can drive continual improvement in the student experience, illustrated using the Deming Quality Cycle. It addresses the National Student Survey as a regular formative assessment in addition to an end-of-programme summative assessment. The checking phase of the cycle starts with in-class data collection. If your students don't all carry smartphones or tablet computers, you can use show-of-hands data as you all jointly review their experience of activities such as seminars, weekend social highlights, essay writing, academic group work, and so on. Small group and whole group discussions enable students to share one thing they can do to make their next seminar more worthwhile and satisfying, happier, more socially connected, and more exciting rather than anxious or dull, providing students with a range of opportunities to improve. All the students can hear and adopt tactics used by every other student so that, for example, all of the students hear many ways to reduce their anxiety in seminars. The process generates longitudinal data and tangible targets for improving a broad range of students' experience that map onto National Student Survey items. Beyond NSS, exploring autonomy and the subjective wellbeing framework supports, primes and structures students' pursuit of improved life quality. It represents an inclusive, scalable, upstream mental health intervention and an opportunity to monitor and improve inclusivity. For example, a university that compares the experience of majority group students with the experience of minority group students on a particular degree program might wonder whether score differences are substantial. If the university surveys several or all programs, then the university can convert scores into percentile ranks. This reveals the magnitude of differences between subgroup scores and the performance of each degree course relative to students across the university as a whole. Quantitative evidence of an inclusivity problem can turn students' attention to inclusive actions, for example at students' union clubs and societies recruitment events. A structure for discussing values makes the worthwhile aspect of subjective well-being more manageable. Schwartz Values Survey has been included in each round of the European Social Survey since 2002. It provides a framework that supports each student in visualizing their values as an introduction to exploring what they and other people care about in their lives, including in their extracurricular experience and also in their career. Groups of academics can use the survey to examine the characteristic values of their program, enabling them to start with why in their recruitment presentations and marketing materials. Graduates need activities they care about because attitudes such as curiosity, initiative, ingenuity, and drive for ambitious results emerge when people do things they care about and that they feel are worthwhile. Such attitudes outweigh skills in determining graduates' early career performance. Most new graduates don't have families to house, feed, and clothe, so they can search for, establish, and subsequently develop productive graduate lives around work that feels worthwhile and about which they care, rather than setting out to maximize their income, regardless of goals about which they care, or the style in which they're most productive. A choice which may undermine their subjective well-being, and therefore their productivity, without significantly improving their income, even in the short term. When students explore and appreciate the values underpinning their goals and the personality underpinning their work style, they become better able to choose goals that feel worthwhile and better able to develop satisfying performance to attain those goals. Curiosity about values, strengths, and styles drives the emergence of organisation and productivity in the social life of the student community. Positive beliefs about individual difference enable students to cluster and collaborate around shared, worthwhile goals that call out productive attitudes and enable students to develop satisfying roles that support their best individual and collective performance. Many university students' unions, guilds and associations already promote clubs and societies' taster events and activities. These can extend students' extracurricular experimentation and support the emergence of more worthwhile, more satisfying choices and more productive teams. Graduate-level professional life is driven by just such productive, self-directing collaboration. Positive beliefs about individual difference based, for example, on understanding values and personality make socializing, exploring common interests, and collaborating more exciting and less anxiety-provoking. Measuring social trust establishes an explicit intention to increase social trust and shapes a culture which values individual difference. Universities already develop positive beliefs about individual difference using models of team roles, team processes, and individual difference to support productive curriculum-based group work. Subjective well-being is a single, life-wide, evaluative framework that fuses performance development and life quality into an integrated, life-wide goal. The approaches the student finds for extending their productivity and subjective well-being within and beyond their taught programs are available to improve the student's performance and lived experience in every aspect of their university and graduate life. So, to summarise, measuring subjective well-being promotes graduates' life-wide life quality and mental health, autonomy, productivity and employability, and transforms universities' offer to students from graduate-level work to graduate-level life. Including subjective well-being in HESA's Graduate Destinations and Outcomes Survey is supported by recommendations from Public Health England, the Cabinet Office, and the higher education, academic and professional community. You can find a range of resources, including more detailed recommendations from experts who support the introduction of subjective well-being in HESA's revised Destinations and Outcomes Survey, linked in the text below this video. Thanks for watching. Please post a comment or drop me an email.